Casey here. Before we start, I just wanted to say that Robbie and Matt's audio is pretty rough on this episode. Please hang with us as we work out our new remote recording setup. We've already recorded episode 6, and they sound much, much better already. Enjoy the show. The hunger of Hadar is making us starve for a brand new crit sandwich. Welcome to Crit Sandwich. On Crit Sandwich, we play D&D loosely based on our favorite media. This is episode 5 of campaign 8. Go back and start at any episode 1. For this, our 8th campaign, we are bounty hunters in an oligarchy playing through the plot of BioShock. My name is Casey Sears. I'm your dungeon master for this campaign. On my screen in a tiny little box is Chuck Ventus.
Hello, I am... It's been so while. Sorry, I stole that, Robbie. I play 13, the Dragonborn Fighter Wizard Barbarian.
In the little box next to him is Robbie Ponder.
Hello, I am playing Dr. Rhonda Leigh. 3 levels of cleric, 1 level paladin.
And technically in another box, but I can't see his face, is Matt Popich.
Yeah, well hidden over here. I am playing Musk, Elon, and he is currently level 3 bard, despite being hideous and weird, and also 1 full level of ranger, which it's been a great combo.
So this, our 5th episode, is the first episode of the game that we are recording at home. We've always kind of taken pride, I think, in recording in the same room. I think we all personally prefer that when a D&D podcast does that. Is that about right to you guys? Is that what we said at the beginning?
100%.
Yeah, you can play off of each other, or the in-person playing off of one another is just like much better. But we're hoping this sounds good and we can see each other slightly in the screens. It's not the same, but
So hopefully we have all our bug fixes out. This is our second time doing this live. Hopefully we fixed all the audio issues.
Yeah, we recorded episode 0 for campaign 9 as a test. So hopefully that all worked out. But it's been for the 4 of us, probably about a month and a half. It's been a while since we've all gotten together as this gosh darn coronavirus takes over these damn United States. Bear with us. Hopefully we sound good. Hopefully we're not talking over each other too much.
I'm mostly worried that, usually when Robbie starts to do something crazy, I make a face at him, and then he rethinks it a little bit. I don't know how that's going to play out, so we'll see. It could be good. I don't know.
Chuck and Robbie won't be seeing each other's roles. That's good.
That's true.
Chuck is such a peeper too.
yeah, I'm a peeper. But make sure you're staying honest over there. Better be staying honest now. So,
Are you guys ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons on the internet?
Finally.
yeah.
All right, listeners, to catch you up. The players are bounty hunters being led through the magical underwater city of Arcus by a resistance leader named Virgil. Virgil is locked in the slums known as Mudtown. The 3 players entered the corporate offices of the Russell Mining Facilities, and they are searching for a Mr. J. Bacalar. One side effect of these arcane infusions is that you're able to see magical impressions upon the world. Those impressions are being portrayed to the players as ghosts, and they just watched a ghost-like visage of Abigail Russell turn J. Bacalar into ash. All right, so the 3 of you are in this room. You just saw this hallucination, if I remember correctly. Robbie, Dr. Leigh, is in the front of the group closest to this.
Yes.
It is. You guys are in a fairly well-decorated and adorned office. There are some really nice displays on the wall. One of them is a hunting display with some bows and arrows. There is a very fanciful shield on the wall. And there is a nice desk with a rather unfortunate-looking skeleton.
they're now when you say decorative, like they're real, like weapons, or
They're
is
displayed.
It like
they look real, but
displayed?
they're displayed. Like this way someone might display a fancy gun on the wall or a fancy bow on the wall.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, I'll go grab one of those shields, and then it just turns out to be a piece of plastic, and just get my ass whooped with it or something.
Yeah, so you guys have a chance to take a look around this room and maybe grab some stuff. Jay Bacalar is suspected to have a key that will lead to the sealed off Virgil. And Robbie, you're checking out the corpse?
Yes.
All right, Robbie, we'll start with you first. You go over there, and there is definitely a pile of ash in this chair. You think, all right, I hate doing this, but this key has got to be here somewhere. At least I assume you hate doing this. Maybe you like doing it. You got to tell me.
No.
So you search through it, and you find 20 pieces of gold around the bottom of a chair in a burnt-out coin bag. And also in that burnt-out coin bag, you see one smoky key.
Yeah, I'll check out that bow and arrow situation.
Matt, while you're checking out that case, you see a fine elven hunting bow, and there is a quiver. There are a dozen arrows in the quiver, and there's a bottle of oil that's labeled Oil of Sharpness.
Like the sound of that.
Yeah, and so that fine elven hunting longbow is going to be a +1 bow.
Score.
And then, Chuck, you said you were going up to a shield on the wall?
Yeah, I was just going to inspect, like, the weapons, like the shield on the wall and stuff like that.
So you go up to that shield on the wall, and it has like a brass framing around it, but the inside of the shield looks like coral. You're not quite sure you're not quite sure why anyone would put coral in the middle of a shield, but it definitely feels magical to you, but you're not quite sure what it does. You think maybe if you spend a little time with it, you could figure it out.
Check out this shield I found. I've never seen one made like it. Would you like this?
Yes.
I'll give it to Rhonda.
She's angry. She's so hideous.
All right, so from here, you guys have acquired another key to get you through another smoky wall. This one you have not seen yet, but you know it's somewhere in Mudtown. And you have acquired some other pieces of equipment here, a little bit more gold. From here, you can leave this headquarters. I guess you guys could continue to explore around the headquarters. You guys could head down to the factories. You guys could head over to the mines themselves, or you could head straight to Mudtown, which is where you believe Virgil is.
Now, did anyone search the desk?
No one has really searched the desk. You just searched the guy.
Yeah, I want to search the desk.
Check it for traps.
So go ahead and give me an investigation check if anyone wants to help him.
13 will help. You can have advantage.
That's a crit.
You find a potion of Word of Radiance.
All that for a potion?
It's a cantrip potion, so if he drinks it... So this is just like the gust one you guys found earlier. So whoever drinks this potion permanently gets the cantrip Word of Radiance.
Can I ask a question about this potion?
Yeah.
So in previous episodes, we've found vials that have been labeled things like, for example, frostbite, healing word. Is this potion, like the bottle that it's in, like different from the vials that we found?
Yeah, these are smaller.
Okay.
And they're not as big and fancy. The class-based potions you guys have been finding have been a very specific large triangular shaped. This is more of a smaller vial.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I asked is because you said that they permanently get that spell. So I'm kind of like, oh, well, if we drink these other potions that we're carrying, these vials that we're carrying around, are they permanent spells as well? Or
yeah, I thought someone drank the gust potion. Did that not happen?
we were too afraid to drink them. We weren't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah, these are all just power-ups.
Gotcha. Okay, we thought that those were like, you get it and you can just use it like one time or something like that.
Well, then I'll go ahead and drink my potion of sharpness.
No, it's oil of sharpness.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You drink it?
Yeah, this is a different thing. This is something that they were
Yeah,
using to keep those arrows in the quiver really, really nice and sharp.
Nice and lubed.
Yeah.
I think you dip your stuff in it.
You know what? I guess this would be a mixture of old-fashioned sharpening oil on the surface, but maybe mixed with a little bit of magic.
Sounds sweet. All right, go over our options one more time. To where to go?
Okay, so you guys can head straight to Mudtown, which is also known as Hillside Manor. You guys know that Virgil is hiding there somewhere. But you guys can also check out the mines where the miners have been basically working themselves to death. Or you can go check out the factories, which you don't really know much about that area yet.
I mean, we've been trying to get to Virgil this whole time. I guess I would say we should go that way.
Yeah, I agree. Just head to Virgil.
Do you guys sneak out of this office space?
Yes.
I assume you don't want to like hide here, take any short rest or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm good on health.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone give me a stealth check.
14.
5.
17.
I rolled a 3.
All right, so the three of you very quietly leave this round, bulbous office building. And looking out, all right, so this round office building, its back is kind of to the dome of the entire district you're in. And looking straight to your south, because this is all down, you guys are kind of going up a hill. Everything else is all downhill. You have all of the factories, and then you would actually have to either go down the hill through the factories and to the left to get to Hillside Manor, which is also known as Mudtown, or you can kind of go up closer to the mines and then back down the hill and go around the factories. So do you want to go around them through the mining area, or do you want to go down through the factories?
What do you think? Should we work our way around this, or head straight through the factories?
Aye, let's just go straight through.
I agree with the doctor. I think our best bet is the mines.
Even looking out around this way, it's pretty dark, but looking at the map from the very beginning of coming to this district, there was a map inside the bathysphere station. You guys have a decent idea that you can actually, you're kind of like going around like the entrance of, or through the entrance of all the mines. It's not like you're going through tunnels or anything like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's our best bet.
Okay. Oh, Chuck. So yeah, you guys have decided to sneak your way up towards the mines, just the entrances of the mines.
Were you going to tell me something, Casey? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you said, "Oh, Chuck."
Oh, what's your passive perception?
It's 9.
Yikes.
It's pretty bad.
That's pretty garbage. So the three of you leave this building. You're starting to walk up, and you guys are passing a long hall on the left. And do you guys want to check that out or anything, or just move right on by it?
Can you describe it a little more?
Yeah, it is. I would almost describe it as hangar-like, very long, very plain, and it just says Russell Mining Hall. There are some small windows on the outside, but they're not very big.
Well, we don't really know which way we're going, right?
You guys are kind of heading north up a road, or kind of uphill towards the mining area, and you're going to hook back down past the factories straight into Mudtown.
I'll shoot a firebolt down the hall just to see what happens.
Wow.
So like you'd go to the front door and just shoot a firebolt to illuminate the inside?
Yeah, it's dark or whatever, correct? We can't see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are also some busted windows you could maybe climb up to and do a similar thing, but does anyone else follow him to the front door?
I mean, I guess I would until I see that all he's doing is shooting fire into it, and then I would be like, what the fuck was that?
I want to see down that hall.
It is dark and it's quiet. Not a lot of globes of light. Most of them have shattered and fallen to the road.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it. I don't care. I'm going to shoot it down the hall. 120 feet range. I'm just going to see my fist like swell up. A little bit of fire just pop into my hand, and I throw my hand forward, and you just see this ball of fire just travel down the hallway.
Yeah, I'll have been trailing behind him and then like immediately duck and cover and find somewhere where I feel is safe because, in my opinion, he's shooting at something and we're in combat.
Sure. So Chuck 13 launches that firebolt down the hallway. Musk immediately takes off behind you. Robbie, Dr. Rhonda, Paul Leigh, as you watch that hall get lit up, it gives you a very brief and quick flashback. Do you remember how your character, their favorite meal was at a big ball?
Yes.
You see the big ball hall light up as that firebolt goes through this specific hall. You're like, oh gosh, this looks just like the place that we had that dance after the war.
I'll walk down there.
You're kind of transfixed by something that seems very, very familiar. Musk books it. You start to walk inside. It's pitch black in here. Do you have any light?
I do have dark vision, but if I need more light, I will light a torch if I need more.
Yeah, well, there's a tiny little fire at the very end of Chuck's firebolt, so maybe that also helps too. But between your night vision, do you have anything to light as a torch, or is it just night vision? I don't think you have anything to torch.
Just the basic D&D, like Dungeoneers pack has a torch. And
how do you have a Dungeoneers? Where'd you get the Dungeoneers pack?
Oh, that's so true. Thanks. You're true. Okay.
Classic.
I'll turn around and tell Musk, like,
It's clear. You can come out now. Did you see something? We can go explore it.
and can I light my hand up just with keep the fire in my hand for the fire?
For the firebolt?
For the firebolt,
Sure.
and use that as like a lighting mechanism?
Yeah, I'll let you do that. I mean, it's not produce flame. Produce flame would actually be the cantrip, but you can definitely use the firebolt in a kind of similar way. Kind of tossing it maybe back and forth between your hands or something.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, Musk is kind of freaked out, so he's like, well then, why the fuck did you fucking throw some fire? What is going on?
Couldn't see down the hall.
So the two of you are walking behind Dr. Rhonda. Rhonda, you are walking through this just long hall. It doesn't seem like it's been used that much. Some of the art and decorations is very different than the hall you remember from the military ball, but it definitely feels just like the same place. Like in your head, you're like, that's impossible, but it really feels very similar.
Am I smelling even the atmosphere there, like all the delicious foods that was set out for this military ball?
It doesn't smell like it used to. It's very damp. You might even smell some rot of food or the rot of wood.
Now, Musk and 13, we don't see anything. Does this just look empty to us?
It's just like a sparsely decorated hall. You know, very tall ceilings, very wide, a bunch of tables going through it. Off to the side, there are some doors where you would assume there might be some kitchens and things like that. Some double doors on swinging hinges for servers and everything to come in and out. Some bathrooms at the front. A little closet for coats and, coat check and everything at the front of the hall. It's a pretty bare bones kind of building. Old chandeliers hang from beams going through the rafters.
So as I'm going through here, I think about my fathers, and I will lightly say their names: Gary, Rose, and I will continue walking to the end of the room.
So you walk down to the end of the hall, and there's another exit on the other far end of the building, if you'd like to go out. But in general, it seems like a building that's not getting a lot of use anymore.
Just empty in here.
Musk will just kind of like huff, go, huh? Still kind of not understanding why we even went over here or threw fire into it, and says, Let's just keep it moving.
Yeah, that's fine. Rhonda will. She was taking points. She was walking a lot faster, but now she'll kind of stop and let those guys. If whoever wants to walk in front of her, she'll let them take point from now on.
I'll go up front. I'll just keep walking.
So the three of you make it to the far end of the building and quietly sneak back outside, and you follow the northern wall of the district that you're in, up a road that is lined with some cart and rail tracks. You guys find some very small buildings, some shacks and some sheds. There are picks, there are shovels, there is equipment, there are lanterns, there is rope, and there are people. And none of the people are talking to each other. They're just kind of shuffling about. They're grabbing their equipment. They're putting rocks into carts as they're just hauling more and more rock out of the ground. And some of those rocks are going into carts that look like they're going to be heading down to the factory. Some of it is just going in these massive, massive piles of stone. But yeah, there are people there. They're all wearing, these people actually all wearing gray jumpsuits, and they're just completely filthy and dirty and smelly, quietly going about their mining duties.
So they're not illusions. They're just kind of like zombie-like, just kind of like doing their job.
Yeah, just quietly working, quietly chipping away at things. I don't even think they, to you, would even look zombie-like. You know, they're not like groaning or anything like that. They're just working very, very quietly and very focused and very dedicated. You guys have, up until this point, maintained your stealth. You're hiding out in the shadows. No one's paying attention to you yet. You can engage with some of these folks, or you're actually looking down the hill. At this point, you think you can, you're kind of towards the end of the factories, and you can follow one of these carts down, or even hop in a mine cart and ride down between the factories and Mudtown.
So these are basically the miners, right?
Yes, the miners are mining.
But we don't need to go down into the mines, do we? I mean, we're trying to get to...
Yeah, you can keep going further by all the mine entrances and everything like that, or go in the mines. You can explore this area a little bit, or you can just follow the railway and stairways down the hillside manor and the factories.
And Virgil. We want to get to Virgil.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, our goal is Virgil, so this is a cool scenic site, but I don't think we have any intention on going down into the mines at this point.
How far away is the first worker?
Say 200-300 feet away. They do have some light there. There are some small fires. There are lanterns lit. So this is a fairly bright area that they're all in while you guys are still in darkness.
And I don't know if he said this. They're not in chains or anything, right? Are they like prisoners? Okay.
Not prisoners, not at all. Just working hard.
I'm kind of with Musk or Matt. I don't know if Musk said that out loud, but
I did.
I think the main goal is Virgil and heading towards him, and we can come back here if we need to. But if they're not prisoners or anything, then they
are prisoners. You've heard of that. That one guy, he was killed, turned to ash. What was his name again?
Jay Bacalar.
Jay Bacalar got turned to ash. They are prisoners. That's why they keep working and they don't stop. I have a spell I would like to try on one of them.
I want to check in. We need to have a chat on if there would still be a Scottish accent now that you're an elf. Where do we land on that?
I think it would be.
Yeah.
I think you'd be an elf with a dwarvish accent.
Oh, wow. That's hideous. Oh, you're an abomination.
Leave me alone, gosh. Oh, man. I have a spell. I can't, now that we talked about what I'm talking like, now I don't even, you should just let it go instead of bringing it.
So you said you have a spell you'd like to try, and 13 will respond.
I don't know if it would come, I don't know if it'd come into play or if it would help any, but I would like to try to cast Ceremony on one of these guys, and it's called Atonement. You touch one willing creature's whose alignment has changed. You make a DC 20 Wisdom Insight check. On a successful check, you restore a target to its original alignment.
Oh.
Jeez.
Original alignment.
Yeah, that's like a really powerful spell. What level is that?
It's first level, but it's abjuration called ceremony.
And it's 20, DC 20. Yeah, I'll let you do it. Sure. I'm not sure if that's...
Well, I don't... Wait a minute. So he has to touch them, and you said they're like 200 feet away?
Yeah, you'd have to go up to them and...
Do you have the spell pulled up, man, or something?
No. I'm more of like... if you try to start like... walk out in the open and go to these people, I'm gonna like grab you and say, "What are you doing?"
Well, fine. Look around. There's nobody here. If these workers are here and they're able to work, then it's going to be fine for us to come out.
There's lots of them and few of us. We need to get to Virgil. We will help these people later if we can.
I'm with Musk on this one.
But if we could go and we could talk to one of these people, we could get more information about what the hell is going on in this place.
We can get that information from Virgil. We don't need these people. If we can help them later, I'm happy to do so. But right now, we need to get Virgil. He's the one that can get us out of here.
I will say, with the exception of the occasional pickaxe and shovel, none of the workers seem to be armed.
My problem with Virgil is he's one of the big players in this place. How can we know if we can trust him or not? If we go down there and we find one of the miners, preferably a dwarf, we know we can trust them.
And how do they know they can trust you? Elf?
Good point.
You say that, I look down, I'm like, and I get a little upset. And that's because if I save one of them, then they know they can trust me if I save one of them from their slavery.
My God, you're hideous.
If you want to do this, Rhonda, you do it alone.
So I just give you a choice. You do what you want, but I'm with Musk. I'm not going to go down there, especially like there's so many of them. I agree with Musk. They could overrun us. And even if they don't have weapons, like you got to kind of play it smart. And if we talk to Virgil, he could probably give us some insight on it. And we could always come back to this area. We don't have to do this right now.
Why don't you two chicken shits wait here for me, and if anything happens, then you will be over here where it's safe.
If you go out there, you'll be lucky if we're here when you come back.
I look down there, 300 feet away. Am I able to tell what the race is of the first miner?
The closest one is a dwarf.
How convenient.
Yeah, there's actually about 1 in 3 people here are dwarves. There's a lot of gnomes. And you can see about 10 people from where you're at. There's some humans, like maybe 1 or 2 humans, 1 elf, but mostly dwarves and gnomes. Maybe 1 dragonborn.
What are you going to do, Rhonda?
All right, let's go. Let's go then. We're not here to help anybody, are we? We're just here to go and get this one guy. All these people here are dying, are in slavery, and you guys just want to go to them. You guys just want to go and not help anyone on the way.
I'm not in this business to make friends.
And I start to walk.
I would have left this place right when we got here if we could. In fact, I tried to. I'm trying to survive, just like I always do, and I suggest you start to get the same attitude.
If anyone doesn't have a point of inspiration, take it already. I feel like everyone has their own point of views here in a very solid way. The doctor wants to help. 13 is looking out for himself and trying to be a badass.
Trying?
I'm sorry. 13 is being aggressive. Musk is being self-serving. So if you don't have a point of inspiration, give yourself one. Rhonda, are you going to follow the boys or are you going to split for a second?
I stand there looking down into the mines, and I just turn my back to my 2 party members, and I cross my arms.
Make an insight check, Robbie, on the people. As you're looking up there at them.
A 3.
Yeah, you're not sure what to think about the people, the miners. You're not sure if they're a threat or not.
An 8. Sorry. correction, an 8. Not that it would make any difference.
Yeah, about the same feeling. You're not sure whether or not they'd be a threat.
I kind of know already that they're not going to be a threat because if they're turned into slaves and they don't stop working, they're not going to stop working just because I come down there, and I'm pretty sure about that. But my Rhonda's concern is being left behind by her other 2 party members.
That's a good concern.
Go down there.
All right, Rhonda, so you just follow your teammates down the hill?
Well, I turn my back to him and I cross my arms, and once they start walking whatever the opposite direction or whatever direction they go into, I will follow them.
So there are a few ways down the hill here, actually. There are some incline coal carts. As in, have you guys ever seen like an incline rail where things look flat, but it's kind of going down a steep hill?
Yeah.
Like it's a flat car going, yeah, it's like almost like a platform, almost like, imagine a roller coaster going up a hill, but it's whatever is on it would be flat instead of going up at an angle.
So it sits on a platform, and once it reaches its destination, it then moves. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep, the city of Cincinnati used to have some.
Yeah.
Up where the Incline Public House is now, which is a restaurant. But yeah, so yeah, you guys could try to hop in a cart and head down. You guys could go down a long and winding staircase. You guys could just slide down this muddy hill. There are a lot of streams of water going from the mines down the hill.
So that we can get a cart ride or we could walk.
Yeah, and every once in a while, there's just a cart that's full of rock and everything that's just going down the hill, just past you. It'll be on a rail from further up in the mines, and it'll come down and hit a corner and turn and go chuk 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 down the hill. So you guys can just hop a ride on that if you want, or you guys could try to slowly move down there.
Does the path that the cart takes, does it move past like anyone that we can see?
It moves right by where you all are hiding right now, and I assume you guys have kind of crossed the road at this point in order to make your way down. So you guys can just hop in one, or you guys can hoof it.
Let's hop in one.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Why don't we hop in one of these carts?
Great. So one of these incline carts that's full of a bunch of filthy old rocks, you all just either grab onto the side or sit on top, and you guys, click, 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 click down the hill. As you're going down the hill, the factory seems to be on your right, and or the factories seem to be on your right. And the factories have a bunch of kind of outside areas. I must imagine fields full of supplies, stacks of lumber, stacks of coal, stacks of rock, beams, just metal beams, stacks of glass and dumpsters, all on this side of the factory. And then just beyond those yards of supplies, there are a lot of buildings. Weirdly enough, with smokestacks that kind of lead into the bubble to pump all of the smoke into the ocean. Does that make sense? You guys are kind of in a domed area, and the smokestacks just go up to the top of the dome, and you can kind of see clouds of filth on the surface.
Yep.
It's awesome. So, like, these people just don't care about pollution, so...
It's before really people understood pollution, so...
Well, right, we're still in a time frame where people don't understand pollution, so...
This is true. Unfortunately, this is incredibly... terribly true.
Yeah.
So you guys go down, and you guys get to the first edge of Mudtown on your left, and Mudtown. Actually, let me go to my notes. Mudtown was nicknamed for the dust and dirt and the water that was overflowing from the factory and the mines. Looking to your left, you see the filthy streams of mining and factory water pouring straight into Mudtown. And you see these little streams weaving in between moldy and damp wood shacks. And the closer you get to the bottom of this district, the lower and lower the crystal ceilings and the coral ceilings of the underwater dome that you're in get. It's really feeling much more claustrophobic and intimidating, and the ceilings are much lower. There are a lot of coral columns supporting the much too close ceiling. It is very dark and damp, and you can only see maybe one or two globes of light illuminating in the distance. It does not look good in Mudtown.
Do we know where Virgil is from here?
You do not know where he is from here, but you do have a telephone.
I do not.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we call him? Who's got it? I think I've got one.
Yeah, Rhonda will take out her cell phone, and Virgil, we just entered the outside of Mudtown. We see two glowing lights in the distance, and we're wondering which way we go to how do we get to your location from here?
Oh, that's great. You're in Mudtown. Did you find the key from Jay Bacala?
Aye, we have the key.
Oh, that's fantastic. Go all the way through Mudtown, all the way to the far end in the north. There, you'll find a Church of Helga. We should be in there, but be careful.
Time out for 1 second. I had somebody sneak up here while you guys were talking.
It's all right.
Read a review.
Read a review.
Yeah, it's review time, Matt. You got one?
I'm sure I do. All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to read a review from Etzel Rachel. Sorry if that's not correct. I'm trying to do my best to read it. It says, short and sweet D&D with a creative twist. These randomly rolled campaigns borrow the best from existing media concepts to create immediately rich worlds. The guys do a great job creating distinct characters too. I've been surprised at how much I can imagine them and get, quote unquote, who they are from just a few episodes. My favorite campaigns are the first with Jurassic Park, but I also really like the Space Junkers and the Drow Elves. The middle school is close too. My favorite was the Chaos. My least favorite was the Chaos one. Sorry, guys. I don't know why, but I just could not get into it. I ended up skipping it. I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon as a kid, but I thought the Mad Max one was pretty visual and entertaining. You guys do a great job painting a picture. I love that about your podcast. I don't know. It doesn't hurt my feelings if people don't like my campaigns. What do you guys think?
Well, I will say that she's missing one of my favorite endings of any of our campaigns by skipping Chaos Incarnate. That
is true.
That it has a wonderful, wonderful, hilarious ending to it, which I won't spoil here in case she's listening. But no, I definitely have my favorites. Matt Drowhard is definitely one of my favorites, without a doubt.
Huh. I feel like part of the reason we do it this way is there's kind of something for everybody. Like, the constant is our fun that we have with each other, and then after that, it's kind of just all over the map, but that in both a good way and a bad way, I guess. But in general, as long as you, like, all of us are having fun and people have fun listening, then it's cool with me. Yeah, that doesn't offend me at all, so...
Yeah, so thank you so much for listening, and please leave Apple Podcast reviews. That is the biggest podcast platform, and reviews there help new listeners find our show. Thank you so much for reviewing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the three of you are looking to the left at Mudtown. You're talking to Virgil on the phone, and he says he is in the Church of Helga, and to be very careful because Abigail's arcanists are outside, making sure that he starves to death down in his pit.
Sneak up.
Yeah.
The inclined cart levels out and begins to roll flat as it reaches the bottom of the hill. And the three of you pop off, and it makes a hard right into one of the factories. And the three of you start to lurk between the soggy, rotten wood structures, tiptoeing through the filthy, filthy runoff from the mining facility and the factories that are all slowly pooling in Mudtown. As you guys are... Actually, let's do a fresh stealth check. I feel like it's been long enough that we can do a second stealth check here.
I rolled an 18 plus 2, 20.
16 plus 4, 20.
Rhonda get a 14.
All right, so the three of you are, and it's very dark through here. Honestly, all of you should have had advantage on that check. I should have told you, but y'all did fine. So the three of you sneak through this area, and you guys see a lot of signs for a battle here. You see arrows stuck inside some of the wood frames of these buildings. You see walls that have been hacked down. You see burnt out buildings. And as you go further and further in, and the ceiling gets tighter and tighter and tighter on you, it starts to feel very claustrophobic and overwhelming. And to your far right, as you're about halfway creeping through this neighborhood, you guys hear some splashing, some splishing and some splashing and some splashing of two large feet making their way through standing water. About this point in Mudtown, there's probably about a half foot to a foot of water given at any individual spot. So everything is going to be rough terrain unless you climb up on top of one of these shacks, which really you can barely even stand on. Like you would have to crouch to crawl on to one of these buildings and not hit the roof. But as the splashing is happening, and as you guys are sneaking stealthily through it as best you can, making as little noise as possible, moving through the water. Who has the best? You know what? I'll say they're gently illuminated by the soft glow of one of those globes of light. And who is softly illuminated? Another coral golem with a little lad on his shoulder is slowly sloshing and trudging through the water, looking out for the little lad's next victim.
I still don't feel confident that we're ready to take on one of those things, so...
I was about to say,
That's 2 levels right there.
yeah, last time it was the coral golem was basically killed by Beef Boy.
Yeah, and like a lot of things around him too.
Yeah, there was a huge fight that took him down before you guys got to him last time.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
I think he would Conrad.
Yeah. I get, yeah.
That's EverQuest / World of Warcraft speak for we would probably lose a fight. So I would say we're gonna. Musk will put his finger up to his lips and like point at it with 2 fingers, and then kind of like motion to move around it stealthily.
And 13 will nod his head and follow or press on.
Robbie, does Rhonda agree?
Yep, she'll follow along.
As the three of you are sneaking past this core golem, and really it's at the point where you're to the closest to them, to the golem and the little lad. You don't know where it comes from, but a rock flies over your head and hits the golem. Like kind of bounces around and hits, and his head spins and looks towards you, and he growls at a very, very low volume.
He saw us? Oh, shit. Where did that rock come from? Can we see where that came from?
That's a great question. Make a perception check. Which would be great for 13, since his passive perception is 9, right? Is that's a -1?
I was gonna say
-1.
Musk wants to make a perception check too.
Also, Rhonda, I already rolled.
Yeah, you guys stop for a second to look where that rock comes from.
I crit.
Okay, so
Don't
that's
matter.
a 19. It's not a crit. It's a 20 minus
okay,
1.
It's a crit.
Musk got a 15.
Rhonda got a 17 plus 3, so 20 total.
So that rock flies over your head and hits the golem, and the three of you turn and look around, and you're like, what the hell? Who threw that? Where did that come from? and none of you are able to tell. Another rock flies from your as you guys are looking around from the darkness. Another rock flies out and hits the coral golem, and he starts moving in your general direction, trudging through the water.
I want to get away from the golem.
Move faster, move.
Move towards the stealth towards the where the direction the rocks are coming from. I guess maybe we'll be able to see something if we could be some sort of magical barrier or something like that. That's the reason why we can't see anything.
Or invisibility.
Yeah.
So imagine you guys are all heading north, heading to the end of this district. To your right, to your immediate right, is the coral golem. To your immediate left is where the rocks seem to be being thrown over your head and hitting the golem are. And the golem has turned and he's starting to move towards you.
Oh, okay. So we're kind of sandwiched in between. All right. Sorry.
Yes. So the rocks are very much made to seem like they are coming from your party.
Do we know where the church is? Do we see like
straight ahead? You assume it's straight ahead. You guys are about halfway through the district.
So the golem sees us. He thinks we're attacking it. Okay.
But we think it would be surrounded in the shadowy stuff, correct? Because we needed a key to get in there?
The smoky stuff. Yeah, you know that the smoky stuff is hiding the smuggler's hideout where Virgil is staying at. Like, you know, he's locked behind that in some room or in some sort of space until he starves to death.
I'm thinking we either backtrack and kind of like run backwards, or like just try to book it to Virgil, and hopefully make it. I don't know.
Yeah, I would keep running. Oh gosh, I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like we're about to get into a fight. We can either help the golem.
No, the golem's coming at us.
Yeah, he's starting to move towards you. Yeah, he's not exactly charging, but he's groaning and moving in your direction because he thinks you are harassing him.
Let's get away from him then. I'm fine with that.
Actually, what he thinks is something from your direction is harassing him. You guys are still technically hidden from him.
Let's stealth on, because I think maybe we can get to a better point.
No, I think we should. Because
I think we should stealth forward, and maybe we'll see what's coming after. What kills whatever this is might kill the golem, and then maybe we'll see what it is when it comes out.
Okay.
So we'll continue to stealth forward in the direction that we were heading to try not to alert the other whatever's throwing these rocks that were there as well, and let it just kind of finish off the golem.
So, as the three of you continue to sneak through the water, another rock flies from your general direction towards the golem, and it continues to close the gap between you and it. But as whatever it is launches this fourth rock, we'll say that Musk, you have the highest passive perception. Actually, yeah, you would definitely see this before anyone else would, because it's between yours and Dr. Rhonda's passive perceptions. You see a shadowy figure throwing a rock from the top of one of these shanties. That's like this person is like right on you and right above you, throwing rocks at the golem, trying to lure the golem towards you. But you barely get a glimpse of it right before it goes back into the darkness.
Yeah, I think somebody's setting an ambush. I think we're in the kill. Robbie, what is it called? Kill box. I think we're in the kill box. That's what I think's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we get in a fight with this golem, and then this person throwing these rocks is going to get the cleanup and going to kill us and take all the.
Yeah, I don't think we want to be in the kill box. So maybe we should backtrack.
We already moved so far forward. Can we just keep moving forward and finding a better place to hide?
Yeah, imagine you guys keep moving forward, and I would say the golem is now like kind of turned and curved and starting to follow you from behind. So the golem is catching up and is curving and is now following you from behind as more rocks kept getting thrown at it. And now that you guys have an idea that there is something throwing rocks, and it is like right above your head.
Is Rhonda able to see the shadowy shape yet?
Rhonda doesn't see it. Musk caught a glimpse of it out of the corner of his eye. What happens after that?
I'll whisper,
It's whatever it is throwing it from above on top of the shanties. We need to move.
and I'll start moving quickly but stealthily in that same direction, but faster.
Rhonda would do the same, continue to move as fast as she can stealthily, and I would also like to ready a spell. I would like to, where Musk said it's at, wherever this shadowy thing is at, that's what information he gave me. I want to ready a spell. I want to cast Guiding Bolt next time I see it.
Next time you see the thing on top of a building?
Yes.
All right. Chuck? Are you just moving?
I'll just keep moving forward, yeah.
All right. Actually, at this point, I think trying to think at what point do I have you guys roll for initiative, because that golem keeps gaining ground. He takes bigger steps than you guys, and he is not deterred by this water. He's not slowed down like you guys are trying to move stealthily through it.
Sure.
And he's getting closer and closer, and then bam, another rock flies from over your heads into the golem. And he's getting closer and closer.
Am I seeing enough of the figure to be able to cast Guiding Bolt?
No, you don't. The figure is not in your visual range. Like, wherever they're at, they are purposely being invisible to you, but able to throw a rock and hit that golem. The golem, being annoyed and harassed, picks up his pace.
Chuck, don't you have Mage Hand? Catch those rocks, dude.
I don't see this person. I don't see him. Like,
You could see the rock flying down and catch it with Mage Hand or something. I don't know. We're getting screwed.
how far away is the person, I guess?
You have the least idea, but you know that Musk has said that they were on top of one of these shacks. So you assume they're moving from shack to shack to shack.
Okay. I'll tell you what, since we're already kind of in danger here, I will just I'll throw my fist up into the air, and you'll just see, like, I'll kind of shoot it in the direction of where Musk described, like, where the rocks were coming from, and I'll cast Prestidigitation. What was it? I'll create, like, a shower of sparks to try and light up that area, so maybe the golem will see that other person, like, they'll see us running and maybe that other person up on the roof to try and, like, light them, so to get the golem off of our asses.
Oh. Shoot, what kind of check do I want you to make, though?
So the range is 10 feet. It's not much, but I'm just trying to, like, shoot it up into the air to kind of illuminate, like, to light up the area.
Totally.
Kind of.
So you go and you're like, all right, all right, Musk was kind of pointing over in that vague direction at one of these houses as you're moving through, and you point at the next house. And do you say anything when you do prestidigitation, or is it just pointing and then just sparks?
I don't know.
So,
Wow.
I'll just throw my hand in it.
He's a barbarian wizard. Give him some credit there, Matt.
Boy. Yeah, that's true. All right.
I'll probably, like, snarl, like, and just, like, throw my fist into the air.
So you do your little sparkle fingers and your growl, and some sparks and explosions and fireworks appear between one of those buildings and the ceiling. And you guys see, do you remember the lady from the very first episode who climbed straight up a wall?
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah.
You see her and one other person just like her crawling like spiders backwards on the ceiling, each with two swords strapped on their backs, scurrying across the low ceilings of Hillside Manor. Let's roll for initiative on next week's Crit Sandwich.